What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from Steel City Jones Flight Academy. Today, we are pretty excited about finally having the product that you see right here, which is the CZI GL60 Plus. Now, you may have seen some of our other videos on what's called the side top GL60 Zoom and the GL60 standard model. Now, side top is a distributor for CZI. CZI is the manufacturer. So, the GL60 Zoom and the GL60 Standard have been discontinued, they're end of life, and we've been out any product now for a couple months. So finally, we now have some new equipment here. This is the replacement, the GL60 Plus. Now, in comparison to appearance-wise, this is not really the same as the GL60 Zoom in appearance. It's more toward the line of the Wingland Z15 spotlight that DJI sells. However, this is really not a comparison because the construction of this is much better. This is what I would consider to be a very good heavy-duty commercial unit with a very good strong housing, strong components, and really good glass. What also I like about this very well, compared to any of the older units, is that it self-balances a lot better, where I can go ahead and really put this anywhere on the roll axis and it will stay there, where the older units were not as self-balanced. So that's a plus, because that means then the motors are going to work less hard and it's going to really last a longer time. Overall, it's still rather light. It weighs less than what an H20T camera weighs, and probably is right in line what I would consider to be right with an H20 camera. If you are going to use one of these spotlights, you're definitely going to need to use your H20 or H20T cameras alongside this. This has a very good feature that's going to allow you to pan and sync up the cameras at the same time, so that when your H20T camera pans, your spotlight will actually pan and sync with it. Same thing with the tilt. So the tilt and the pan will sync up very naturally, which is great. You're also going to be able to trim each axis so that if it's not quite lined up correctly with your H20 camera, you're going to be able to get it exactly as you need to with these adjustments. Now, where this differs from the older models of the GL60 is this does not have the capability of being able to adjust the size of the spotlight. Previously on the Zoom model, we were able to go ahead and make it anything from a very tight, narrow spotlight to a floodlight and anything in between. We can't do this with this model. So we really wanted to see, since it is a fixed size beam, we wanted to really see what that size was and how it relates to a lot of different applications. So we were actually testing this more in a search and rescue type of application, where I used my son as an actor, and you can see from 160 feet high to as high as 260 feet high what the size of the beam looks like in relationship to the overall size. And when we're using this, combining this with the Zoom camera on the H20, it really works very well. So it's giving us enough of a size of an area to be able to search decent sized grids and still be able to capture enough area where it's not too narrow. So overall, I think it's a very good compromise. The second observation that we made from this, and this is very similar to the previous GL60 models, is the intensity is insane. The intensity is more than it's needed. In fact, if you're below 200 feet, we really kind of almost need to tame the intensity down. This has the ability to adjust it from anything from 10% all the way to 100%. We found it that at 60% was more than enough brightness to be able to use search and rescue. The next observation that we made was that we were able to see an improvement in the overall temperature of the light, whereas the older versions had more it was a cooler type of color temperature, versus this is now more of a warmer type of a light and more natural overall. So that again is another improvement that we've seen with this light. Now, we were also wanted to show you where we flew an exact location with the ZL60 zoom. We wanted to fly the same location with the ZL60 Plus and show you side by side. So again, we can get very similar results with the GL60 Plus compared to the zoom model. It's just not adjustable in the overall size of the beam. Now, another improvement that we've seen on here is the ability to have shortcuts as shown as you see here with these 4 buttons. The only downside to that as of right now is that those buttons are not marked. But we can go ahead with those buttons and turn the light on and off. We can go ahead and give it a strobe light or continuous light, as well as being able to adjust the overall brightness level from 10 to 100%. So using those shortcuts on the app really improves the overall workflow, not having to have to go back and forth through the normal submenu settings. So again, from our testing, we're very happy with this light. We're highly recommending it based upon all the results that we have seen so far. And we don't think that you can go wrong, especially with the older versions of the GL60 Zoom and the standard model. None of our customers had any problems. So the reliability with CZI is high, which is a very important part for us to be able to recommend any type of new equipment. So this is going to become part of our public safety package that we're going to put together, as well as certain different type of LED lights that we're going to put on here, a loudspeaker, as well as an optional infrared light that we're going to have. A couple different videos that we're going to have coming out very soon regarding a few different products. So I think you can't go wrong with this. We're going to have this on our website very shortly here. Steel City Drones Flight Academy.com is being redesigned. We should have this ready any day now, so hang tight for that. And then this is going to be part of that on that new website that we're going to have. So thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.